And that's going to take us to the main event, bud, for the evening. And that main event, we had the hometown guy, fights out of Louisiana now, but from Canada, Brendan Allen, fighting Reinier de Ridder. And this was a battle of the middleweights. Two guys, very interesting matchup coming in. And I thought that de Ridder, when I watched the fight in the first round, it felt like it was going to be a fight that I've grown accustomed to seeing from de Ridder. He's such a big guy. He's so long. He's so strong in the clinches and grappling. And then he starts to work those knees. And in the first round, I got to see that. He put his hands on him. He got out onto the ground, and he controlled him. But in the second round, he made a critical mistake. And this mistake cost him the match and turned the fight around, in my opinion. He was on top again of Allen, but he got over the top and out of control, and he lost position. And then Allen was on top. And Allen went to work. He grounded and pounded him. He started to break de Ridder. And after the end of the second round, you could see that gas tank was running very low for de Ridder. By the end of the third round, and this continuing, and a nice reversal by Allen to get back on top, he couldn't even get up off the canvas and make it to his corner. It just felt like it was a matter of time before Allen was going to stop it. Winds up being that the corner stops it. After the fourth round, de Ridder could no longer continue. Great win for Allen. What'd you make of this one?
I wonder if age played into it. I know conditioning and all that, and the way the fight went and everything else, but de Ridder's 35, and Allen is, 29, 28, 30, whatever he is. He's at least 29, so 6 years younger. I don't know. Was youth served a little bit? Look, Allen was served himself. Allen made this his real coming out party by pulling this off against a rated guy, a top rated, fourth rated, I believe, number 4, and busting right into the rankings now with that performance. Give Allen, as you said, after a really rough first round, give Allen all the credit in the world, because that's what this is about. It's about resiliency, this business. It's about overcoming. It's about a fight's not a fight till there's something to overcome, right, bud? Don't I always say that? And that was a perfect example. Allen has a real rough first round, and okay, now it's a fight. I got to overcome something. And you know what? He went and overcame it. And that's beautiful. And I give him all the credit in the world. Was it also a little bit Ridder, de Ridder, his last several fights, the way he took apart Bo Nickel, who was supposed to be the next superstar on the arise from the wrestling world, all that stuff, it turns out that Nickel wasn't ready for that. He wasn't experienced enough, all of that. But we didn't know for sure. And then de Ridder comes along, and, he takes him apart, manhandles him, wins these fights that he's been on this streak, and started to present himself as a sort of boogeyman. At the very least, a problem. He's big, he's strong, he's good, he's well-rounded. And then you see the way that he was taken apart and to an extent fell apart against Allen. You start to ask, if you're in the business the way I am, you start to ask, was this the case of the bully getting bullied? You start to ask that just a little bit. Like that movie, Goodfellas. I'm not insulting him. You insult him a little bit. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just pointing out things. He was getting his way. He was manhandling guys. He was out physical and guys, out strengthening guys. And then all of a sudden he got stood up to by Allen, which he did. He stood up to him, and then he tested him. He took him into the waters that de Ridder was taking them into. And what happened? Allen drowned him. So that's my analogy of the fight. Look, I love Allen. Allen is well-rounded with the striking, with the floor work. Obviously, that was at play. Congratulations, Allen.
Yeah, absolutely. And what made it even more impressive is that Allen took this fight on 3 weeks' notice. That was short notice performance. And supposedly he weighed over 225 pounds just 3 weeks ago. So big time cut, great performance by him. Allen bounces back after losing to Anthony Fluffy Hernandez at the beginning of the year, and that's 2 big wins in a row now versus Marvin Vettori and now de Ridder. So, like you said, he'll be in that conversation in the top 5 probably for the rankings.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you got to see what happens with de Ridder at 35 now. I mean, here's a guy that got toppled from the mountain a little bit. I mean, this guy worked his way up, to a pretty damn good spot. I think he was number 4, but worked his way up to that part of the mountain and then gets dropped from it, gets knocked off the mountain. Does he, at this point in his career, how does that impact him? Does he get back up to that place in the mountain? We'll see. We'll see him tested. We already know how good he is. Now we'll find out on the inside how stout, how strong, how driven, how deep he is.